Hey everyone, TruthSurge here. Well, darn it, that crazy old Rosie, Bozy, booze drinking, Pinot drinking, he's blocked me. I guess he just got sick of me posting comments to his video about capital punishment being barbaric. But anytime I see an assertion that's like very strong without anything to go along with it, I think about things, and I question things, and I push things this way and that way, and apparently he didn't like me doing all that, and I basically was just saying that I'm not swayed too much one way or another, but I think in the last couple of hours, I think I'm for a capital punishment reserved for the most callous and conscienceless of murderers. But otherwise, I would probably lean against it. So anyway, I was going to make this video to pose the question to my subscribers and anybody that strolls by, because I'm open for ideas and arguments and reasons. So I just thought I would do this. What do you think about capital punishment as we have it basically in the United States, which mostly is a lethal injection of it's basically 2 injections, an overdose of anesthetic, and then some maybe potassium chloride, which is just salt, but it's potassium-based salt, which basically screws with the heart so that it can't beat right, and basically the heart stops beating, and then death, complete death, brain waves stopping, so many 5 to 10 minutes after that. It's basically a controlled shutdown of the bodily functions. What do you think about capital punishment in terms of how it is right now? I mean, I'm just thinking the United States. I don't know that much about. I mean, obviously, I think we could all agree on stoning someone for adultery. To me, that the punishment doesn't fit the crime. A child hitting their parent and then getting stoned to death, the punishment doesn't fit the crime. Someone being burned forever for anything they would ever do in this lifetime, to me, doesn't fit the crime. To me, these are common, just innate, they're just innately wrong. And I would agree that any time that the punishment is way greater than the crime, I mean, it's just wrong. But to me, when I think about someone just killing like several people in cold blood with no rhyme or reason, I mean, execution, well, there's several benefits I can think of right off the bat. It keeps them from ever doing it again. It doesn't allow the person to continue to get free room and board while loved ones, the survivors, get to know that he's alive somewhere, he or she's alive somewhere on the planet. And of course, guess who's paying for his room and board, which seems like a slap in the face. And again, I'm just reserving this for the Jeffrey Dahmers, the type that just serial killers that go out and just eat these people. I mean, someone that's not going to get rehabilitated, and you know it. So that's my take, and I'm just wondering, what do you think about, or if you're for it, tell me reasons why you think that a death penalty should be retained. I'm not saying it should be invoked with every murderer, because there are levels of culpability. I mean, the legal system recognizes levels of culpability. If I go out and just shoot people for no reason, there's a higher level of culpability. I'm more to blame than if I got in a fight with some friend over a $20 debt and hit him real hard and he had a seizure and somehow died. It would be unintentional murder. So there's levels. And so knowing all of that, and maybe the stats, I mean, how many people have really been executed? And who? So I'm trying to I guess what I'm trying to do is kick back at this idea that capital punishment is barbaric. If you're against capital punishment, what I want you to do, if I can ask a favor, post your reasons for it. Don't just say, I'm against it. And don't just say, because we don't have the right to take someone's life. That's not a reason. That's an assertion, which also would have to be explained. I need you to give me your best shot right here, because I need to see whether or not, where does it fall? You know, does it fall here, or does it fall here, or does it fall here? I want to see the best that you can give me against a capital punishment. I've heard someone say, oh, well, we could be executing the innocent. Well, we could be imprisoning the innocent. So we should do away with the prison system altogether because someone might have been convicted wrongly? I mean, that doesn't seem logical, because we might execute 1 or 2 people that got convicted wrongly. That means we should do away with the whole system. I mean, that's like saying, well, because a few people abuse the welfare system, we should do away with welfare altogether. No, we should fix the system and make it harder to abuse the system. And, so, you know, you see where I'm going with all this. I want real reasons that are tied to facts and statistics. I think of things like, okay, so most people don't get executed. And then I think, even if it was just for one person, you know, I mean, if I was the victim, you know, I don't think justice would be served to put somebody in prison like that if they took the life of somebody that I loved, that I cared about. You see what I mean? It doesn't seem like justice at all. But then, of course, I know the other thing that comes to mind, and you know, it's at the forefront of my mind because I used to be a Christian, is, you know, eye for an eye sounds barbaric. If you just say eye for an eye, that sounds barbaric because it comes directly from the Old Testament or the Middle East concept of justice. And so, you know, as an ex-Christian, I have a natural aversion to eye for an eye. But should I let that color and cloud my thinking about these issues? Anyway, I rambled forever. Tell me what you think, and I'll be reading the comments and seeing what happens. Talk at you later.